Assalamu alaikum friends, my name is Muhammad and you are watching MEB Tech Tips channel. So we are going to start HVAC design series as well. As you can see my video title, it's vapor compression refrigerant cycle in detail step by step. Actually this is the first video of design series. So inshallah we will continue also design series as per our viewer comments. As of now we have uploaded many videos, site-based videos for HVAC, firefighting, plumbing, water supply, drainage, electrical, so on. So you can go to the playlist and you can have a look of that who are interested. So as per today's video, vapor compression refrigerant cycle will start. You can see as a site engineer or design engineer, you must know also refrigerant, because the refrigerant is dealing in deep, it's a maintenance part, so they will take care of this in deep study maintenance department. So as a site engineer, design engineer, we must know also some basic of refrigerant. That's what I am here highlighting, the refrigerant, before we jump to vapor compression refrigerant cycle. So refrigerant is a heat carrying medium during cycle. Which cycle means vapor compression cycle. So refrigerant is a heat carrying medium and which rejects heat at condenser and extract heat at evaporator. So they both are rejecting the heat, the condenser and extract. So the phase is changing here, like condenser is rejecting the heat, so the vapor is becoming liquid, and then the evaporator is extracting the heat, so it's again converting from liquid to vapor. So this is cycle. We will go in deep in the cycle step by step. So as a mechanical engineer, maybe you have gone through R&D book, and that there are so many details about refrigerant, but we brought here some classification of refrigeration, like here CFC, HCFC and HFC. So CFC, if you now the CFC become familiar in like 20 years ago, they were using more CFC in 20 years before. So the scientists came to know, and scientists when came to know that the CFC, the chlorofluorocarbon, which is damaging the ozone. As you know that ozone is a layer which filter the radiation of UV, so which will be very danger to our skin. If it is ozone damage, means if UV rays cross the ozone layer, then it causes the skin diseases. It's already affected in many countries, New Zealand, Australia and Western countries. So when the scientists come to know that chlorofluorocarbon is damaging the ozone, they completely banned. So if you talk about it, before 20 years they were using this CFC, nowadays no. Now that the time only they have given, like example R12 and R502, the refrigerant code, as they have given, because when you place the order of refrigerant should be a specific name. That's why they have given this code R12, R502, but you cannot read all chemicals and this and that. That is why the Freon, that they have given this code like R12 and R502. R is nothing but refrigerant, and this is the code of when you place the order, you can refer this one. So now CFC is totally banned. Now come to HCFC. This HCFC is the advanced technology after CFC, hydrochlorofluorocarbons. It also contains some CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, like approximate 8 to 10%, but many companies they are not using nowadays, like as per my knowledge, Zamil, Daikin, they are not using now, but Trane, I think they are using still, and maybe some people are saying like another 5 to 15 years they will use, and then after that it will also ban, or it will be also stopped, because this also damage the ozone, means who will continue this usage, because of the cost of this less, because of the cost wise is less. That's why they are still using this, preferring HCFC. So after some time it will also get stopped, and maybe they will use HFC, which is hydrofluorocarbon, which has no chlorine content, and this is eco-friendly, environmentally free. So because HCFC has initial cost can increase in the system, so that's why still people are using HCFC instead of HFC. So HFC, there are few example, as you can see here, we have like R134A also. Mostly this manufacturer are using, and as well R410A also manufacturer are using. So we have given some properties of R134A here. You can gone through these all the properties of R134A. And recently question been asked also, what is the cylinder code, color code here. So cylinder color code for this light blue here. You can refer this one for the interview point of view for the properties of R134A. So let us see the vapor compression efficient cycle. So how it works we will see now. So vapor compression refrigerant cycle has four major component. What are they? One is first is compressor. As you know, the compressor you have maybe heard: compressor, condenser, then expansion device, expansion valve, you can say, and evaporator. So how it works? Let's see the compressor first. The compressor, it has inside the compressor you will find the refrigerant in gas state, because the compressor, it is designed to handle the refrigerant only in gas state. Only liquid in the compressor means, any liquid in the compressor means compressor will get damaged. So we are only in gas state, the compressor, it will work perfectly. So with the switch on, people understand the compressor means which is used to compressed. I am considering this cycle for HVAC only, because some people can, if they can understand with the refrigerant as a refrigerator or cooler, they can use as an example, but I am considering either HVAC. So when compressor compresses the vapor in the gas state, what will happen? The volume of refrigerant will get decreased, and same time pressure will be increased. The pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So what will happen? The pressure increases means temperature also will get increased. So both will increase. So when the both increases, and it will enter in the condenser. So let's say example, the compressor compressed at 55 degree Celsius. Yes, we are giving the example 55 degree Celsius, and comes out from the compressor. If you see R134A properties, its boiling temperature is minus 20 degrees Celsius, 26 degrees Celsius, and now compressor is 55 degree. So when it comes to condenser, there is a fan behind the condenser, and it is like a heat exchanger. Suppose outside temperature of condenser area 45 degrees Celsius. So what will happen? You refer to second law of thermodynamics maybe. So that heat transfer from high to low. When the air is thrown on the coil, the refrigerant heat will be extracted by the air, and the air come out as hot air. The condenser is designed by manufacturer to pick the heat equal to latent heat. When the latent heat means change of phase, when it will come out will be in the liquid form, high temperature and high pressure. So it changes the phase due to the latent heat. It becomes liquid now here. So that is why this is called condenser, because the refrigerant got condensed from vapor to liquid, and it takes the condensation take place here. Change of phase happen on the constant temperature and pressure. Change of phase vapor to liquid with same temperature 55 degrees Celsius, then it is not enough to get cooling effect. So what we will do after this compressor and condenser, the refrigerant will enter the one more device called expansion valve, and this device called expansion valve, expansion device, or throttling valve we can say. So the throttling valve means here the entering, for example, for the expansion device or expansion valve, how it will work, it will be like the diameter, suppose 20 mm diameter, then it will be become narrow like a 3 mm. So from 20 diameter to 3 meter, the pressure, when the pressure, high temperature will comes enter in that, what will happen after passing this narrow tube, it will become again, it will expand again. So when it expand again, the volume increases. When the volume increases, the expansion process take place. What happened? Volume get increases, and what happened to pressure drops? So the pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So temperature also get dropped out of the expansion device. So two refrigerant here, the refrigerant becomes here 15 degrees Celsius is enough for air conditioning, not for refrigerant. So when it expansion take place, the refrigerant will become 15 degrees Celsius as we are taking example. So but it is comfort for AC system, is not comfort for refrigerant. Refrigerant will be different case, depend on the system type. This, so we are not talking about refrigerant. So let's see 15 degrees Celsius as a liquid and low pressure and low temperature liquid. If you decrease the pressure less than the atmospheric pressure, you can decrease the boiling point for liquid based on the atmospheric pressure. Some industrial application, they are boiling the water at -5 degree due to the atmospheric pressure. So boiling point can be modified by controlling the pressure. So here pressure is getting dropped means it gives automatically the good cooling. An evaporator will have another fan, it has which will take air from the room air temperature, let's say 30 degrees Celsius. When it throw on the coil which has refrigerant 15 degrees Celsius, then a heat transfer according to the second law. A heat transfer from high to low. When the air throw on this coil, air extract heat and air comes out as cool and dry air. When it comes out from the evaporator, it will be low pressure, low temperature vapor. Again the phase changes here from liquid to vapor. With this change of phase, then this cycle continues. So this is a simple vapor compression cycle, the process. If you have any doubt, and we have, you can see here also the red side is, we can say, the high side area, and the blue area you can say is the low side area, because high side why we are calling here is high temperature and high pressure vapor, that's why we are calling high side, which is highlighted in red line, and the low temperature and low pressure liquid line we are calling low side. It is divided into two parts, that is in blue and that is in red. So guys, if you like this video, please give thumbs up. So inshallah we are going to save more for the design point of view, more videos going to come. This is the basic of vapor compression cycle, just to get the basic idea before we start design videos, more design videos. So if you like this video guys, give me big thumbs up, please share with others, and subscribe my channel. See you in next video. Assalamu alaikum.